Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. So, I'm not falling through the map, which is great. Back to normal, I hope. Or it's just this area over here. Last time. What have we done last time? We did some... yeah, well, we did the inner wall of Elden. And now there are a few more options. Technically, there are a lot of options. We could go to the volcano and do this area. We could go into Leyndell. We could go... well, where else? Right in the hole over here. The Starfall crater. And, well, I think these are the three options that we have, if I remember correctly. Of course, there are some minor stuff, some caves here and there, mine thingies, I don't know. A lot of stuff. Dungeons, maybe a dragon, or these three areas. And I think at some point, a few episodes ago, I grabbed a specific key item. Is it actually a key item, or where can I find it? Oh yeah, there it is. The Amber Starlight Shard? I guess it is. So let's go to Syllabus first with that thing. I think I could also do this area back here. I've never done this, I think. But I don't want to. I don't want to do it right now. It's +6. What's the equivalent to that? Like one level here is something to 3 levels? Is it 3? The equivalent to that, so this would be +18, is that correct? +6 would be 21, 7, what? No, +7 would be 21, +8. No, that doesn't work. Does it? 0 is 1 to 3. No, I don't care. Is it... let's see, let's have a look at the AR. 375, and over here, way less, and it's only +5, and then... where's the halberd? There. Oh, that's a lot more. But it's a straight sword. Let's use the golden epitaph for a bit. At least until I know what enemies we're fighting. So let's visit Syllabus first. Can I jump to that area over there? I can... yeah, I can do it. Nice. Without taking any damage. That's good. Syllabus's rise is annoyingly far away from any site of grace.
Begging for another lesson so soon? That remains.
Whatever. I want a new puppet.
What's that? You want another puppet?
Yes.
Quite the keen paramour, aren't we? But
Of course.
Each and every one is like a child to me.
Pervert.
I can hardly just give them away. Oh dear, what's to be done? Why don't you fetch me some starlight shards? If you can manage it, I'll gladly prepare a new puppet for you.
Okay.
The soul of every puppet has its own ambience. You'll soon come to know once you possess a few. And once each's predilections are known to you, the better you'll be able to love them. Oh yes, you have much to look forward to further down this road.
What a weird person. Let's go obtain a... oh, I need starlight shards for that. I have this one already, apparently. Or do I? It says 1 there. Finger Maiden, Therolina. Where is my puppet collection? Oh, over there. Oh no, I have jaw right. Okay. That's the one that is missing. I see, I see. So I need one more starlight shard. Shouldn't be that hard to obtain. If I remember where to get these things. I mean, I know where I can get them. I just don't really know where these things where I can get them are. Let's see. Quick detour. I know there's one on this plateau, but I don't know if I've already picked it up or not. This is the only one that I outright know where it is. But I think it's from there, right? And I really, yeah, I only have one starlight shard. That's not much. I mean, I'm not really a fan of the starlight shards. You already know how I am, or what I think of. And there is one nice. What I think of FP and FP regeneration. Because the starlight shards, if you don't know, you can use them to recover some FP, or you gain some FP regeneration for a short duration, for a really short duration, which is a bummer. Again, my stance on that is I think FP should regenerate automatically, at least to some degree. Maybe just passively a little bit, or during combat a bit less, but out of combat a bit more, something like this. I definitely think there should be a passive stamina, not stamina, FP recovery. Imagine stamina is gated like FP right now. That would be bad. Oh, I'm running 2 meters. Time for a drink. Alright. Let's go. Give me that.
You're proving to be quite the puppeteer.
Of course.
I've not had an apprentice for a very long time indeed.
Okay.
For another
Here we go. About the scheme.
Perhaps you'd be interested in a little scheme of mine. It will produce the finest of puppets, which I aspire to cherish with these very hands. A ploy to fool even Lady Rani. How does that sound?
So this choice is actually pretty interesting. I would definitely go with I'm interested, even though I'm not. But this is of course the content variance. But if you're saying I'm not, he's like, oh, of course, it was just a test. But of course, for the sakes here, I'm interested because I want a specific ring.
I knew I had you pegged. Just like me. Then I'd like you to procure something. A rather unique starlight shard that glistens with amber. With that, my special draft will gleam with nectar sweetness. And even a demigod would be slave to its charms.
Can I give it to Godric? So hand over the amber starlight shard.
Well, you managed to lay your hands on it. The blessed day is finally upon us. Goodness gracious, the way it glistens. Utterly enchanting. To think this was once a demigod's very fate. My, oh my, oh my.
Oh, I wonder. I really... Oh. I just thought of something. Do you remember where we get this amber starlight from? Or where we got it from? Do you remember that? It was an area over here at this spot. And what was at this spot, there was a statue of Mikola, or at least I think it was Mikola, but it's one of these Mikola statues. I think VatiVideo made a video about these statues, or was part of one of his videos, that are depicting Mikola. And Syllabus just said it was the fate of a demigod. That's very interesting, because who's the demigod that we are not really encountering in the game? Who's one of them? And Mikola is one of them. So maybe this is determining Mikola's fate, this one item. Because apparently stars have something to do with fate in this game. It's a bit confusing, but this might be an interesting topic. This might be the reason why Mikola is stuck in the state he is. Or maybe that's just wrong, but we will see in the DLC, I guess. That comes out at some point this or next year, I guess. I hope it's still this year, but well, if it's not, fine, I guess.
Ah, are you still here? Ah, yes, I should give you your reward.
Oh,
Yeah, please.
is he coming or
It's all
what?
yours. It's splendid work. It's just marvelous.
There we go. You only get the magic scorpion charm
Now just you wait.
when you...
The meta scheme.
Okay, whatever. You just get the scorpion charm when you do the quest line up to this point. I won't give the draft to Rani. It would only end in my death. So this is where you stop when you want to have every item. Of course you can try and give it to Rani, it won't work because, well, I guess because it's her body is already a puppet, it's not her real body. Or the draft itself doesn't work. But if it actually works, then I guess it's because it won't work on Rani, because she either is an Empyrean or she is already in a artificial body, and it's not working on that body, which is a bit more likely in my opinion, but oh well. So now that we've done that, we can actually go into the crater. Because once you obtain the item from the crater and give it to Rani, Celibus will die. And you have to do this before Celibus dies, otherwise you can't talk to him anymore, of course. So now we can go into the crater. Isn't that great? Where to go? Over there. And you need to be careful, a little bit careful with this crater, because what can happen fairly quickly. And let's have a look at this. There's a traitor taken care of, onward to Nokron, then go on, I'll catch up. There's a traitor taken care of. Who is he talking about? Is he talking about Celibus? Or is he talking about Radahn? Probably Celibus, right? Wait, what was the message actually saying? Was I reading that correctly? Let me read that again. Let me quickly read that again, sorry about that. There's a traitor taken care of, so... But this... Doesn't this message imply that the traitor has been taken care of? It's already over. There's a traitor taken care of. Weirdly worded, at least for me, I don't know. Doesn't that imply that he's already done that? Or does he need to take care of... Wait, I'm wrong here, isn't it? That's the wrong side. That's what I mean, you need to be careful where you're going. Because I was just about to go the wrong path. Because there's just one path down here. What I like is that the stones are in the sky, which is very strange. I don't know why they seem to be stuck in time, or why there is this vortex of stones, just because a comet impacted on the ground. Ooh. All right. Okay. Let's jump off torrent, off of torrent, or whatever. I don't English today. I don't know how to English today. Sorry about that. So many holes you can fall down. So much gravity that could take you down. Let's have a quick look at this building we are in right now. We are clearly inside the building. But what's this building's purpose? Who knows? Was there a staircase in here? Doesn't look like it. Maybe there was, but the design of this building, the interior design of this building is like nonsensical in my opinion, which is a bit sad. Like it's just a repeating texture of windows, and we have different levels, but they look completely empty. I would expect for some items, like some decorational items, to stick out of this rubble. Maybe. And this endless void down there feels more like a level and less like a living or once alive city. Same thing how these granted fallen buildings are built. Makes little to no sense, really. What's the purpose of all these towers, you know? Like, Actually, should I start a bit of music? It feels so empty right now. Usually I like no sound whatsoever, but and I'm not a fan of this music. Maybe you want to write it down into the comments what you think about the music, the overworld music. For me, it's not for me. From now on I'm trying to let the boss music run. I try to not forget it, but I can't promise it. How are you actually supposed to jump on that thing? Usually I just jump something like this. I just run and jump on here. But maybe you're supposed to jump on that platform over there and then over here. I don't know. Well, this works, so why should I change it? Alright, no item left there, that's good. This way you can get the ghost flame torch. A torch that looks like this. Pretty cool, looks pretty cool, I like the... Is there a tint of blue in the flame? It looks a little bit bluish, right? Like white, black, blue. It's not completely black and white without any color in it. There's definitely a little bit of blue in there. But when you hit someone with the torch, it applies a little bit of frost buildup, so... Well, that's nice. Because, well, death is connected, at least in the minds of people, like with cold, the cold death. The cold embrace of death or something like this, right? So, of course it's cold damage or frost buildup on that death torch. Oops. Monster Hunter controls again. Haha. And not even Monster Hunter, I'm currently playing another different game that has X to attack. Or X as a attack button, or in my PlayStation controllers, with PlayStation controller on square. Ugh. Well, the golden epitaph is pretty good. Let's compare this to the halberd. Well, 3 attacks to versus 2. I really whiffed that. Now let's work with the golden epitaph just for a bit, because it's a really cool sword. Not very useful down here, but who cares? I don't. I like somewhat useless weapons. So I could jump over there, I could also jump over here. Do I have a ranged I have projectiles. I wanna get rid of this silver tier. Come on, stop that. I'm not getting rid of that silver tier with, at least not that quick. I should really upgrade a bow. Come on. Thank you. Just wanted to get rid of that one. For what reason? I don't know. I'm tired right now. I'm a bit tired. But the good tired, not the bad tired. You know, the tired physically is the good tired, where your body wants to regenerate from the quote-unquote hard day or slightly harder day than usual. And then there's the bad tired, where you're just mentally tired and like your sleep was bad and you have a headache. That's the bad part of being tired, or the bad type of being tired. Like the mentally tired thing, I feel like. Because I always can... I always fall asleep easier when my body is tired and not my mind. You know, when you're like maybe up too late, maybe you're playing video games for a too long time, or you're working for too long on something, or whatever. You're up for a very long time. Your sleep schedule is out of control or something like this, and you just... But your body isn't really tired, it's your mind that is tired, but your body is awake, or almost fully awake, and then it's very hard to fall asleep. And then you're laying in bed, you don't know what to do, like you're just laying there, trying to fall asleep, but it's not working. This is the bad kind of being tired. And I hope you don't know that feeling, but I think everyone knows that feeling. But oh well, now we're in Nokron. Or one part of Nokron. There's actually a two parts to this area. I'm doing one part. I'm not doing the open area, I'm just grabbing the item for Rani and that's it. Ghost Glove, Word Picker's Bell Bearing. What a name. Oh yeah, who cares about this dude? Let me just run through here, grab some items. Get rid of some of these zombie looking dudes that aren't really actually zombies. Because I think I can test it out, but I don't think they take damage from the weapon improvement. Let's have a look. Or not a significant one. 226 or something. Let's buff the weapon. Yeah, well, I don't think they're undead, are they? Like, the undead bonus is not applying. But I dealt a significant amount of extra damage there with the buff. But might be due to the extra scaling there. Lava tier. Yeah, whatever. Golden centipede, that's somewhat useful, I think. I wonder why I'm still running around with that buckler, even though I'm not really using it. But I much prefer the parry or dodge playstyle currently than the block everything playstyle. But don't get me wrong, block and then counterattack is a very effective playstyle. That was my first playstyle with the game, or my first playthrough was with a big shield and a big weapon to deal big counter damage. Like this new mechanic here. I really used that one a lot. And it's fun, I can recommend it if you like heavy weapons. And of course you can use a spear and a shield. And do the old poke shield, shield up and poke tactic. But that usually doesn't deal as much damage and takes a lot of stamina. But big shield and counter attacks is a pretty good combo. Except versus one specific boss. And you, of course, or at least I think you know what boss I mean. The one boss that, when they hit you, regenerates their HP. Even if they hit your shield, so your whole tactic is not working anymore. Because every time you block an attack, they heal themselves up again. Ugh. 3 hits. Just to throw the shield. No big effort on my side right now. I don't want to use my brain right now. I don't want to use my brain. I just want to go through here and talk to you about random ass stuff. Well, you can't even reply. That's the kind of silly part. You can't even reply, like, not directly. Of course, you can write a comment about something that I've said, but like the time between I'm saying this and you're potentially answering is fairly big. Can I even parry them? I don't think I can parry this, probably. Let me regain some stamina and just... Oop, that was close. Regain some stamina. I don't want her to fall off. Can you please go away from that ledge? Because if they drop something, I want the item. Oh, come on, go away from the... Excuse me. I'm gonna get rid of your tier. Wow. I wonder if they dodge. Oh, they do. And by the way, if you want to use a bow build, it's viable, by the way. Like a purely bow build is viable, and it's actually pretty fun. Then please use a short bow, like not necessarily the short bow, but one of the short bow category, like. Oh, light bow, sorry. Not a bow, maybe a great bow. A bow for sniping, maybe a great bow for sniping, for long range. Maybe a crossbow if you want to use it in your offhand. But if you purely want to go bow build, a close range bow build, then you want to use one of these light bows. Not necessarily these, but one of the light bows, because you can combo attack with them. You can roll and attack out of the roll, like do a combo. You can jump and then shoot directly afterwards. like there's a little combo there. You can shoot fairly quick. I'm sure I'm doing it wrong, am I? I don't know. Doesn't really matter, but with short bows you can shoot many arrows in a short amount of time. I'm probably doing it wrong right there, but I can't think. With a normal bow, and of course with the great bow, you can't do that. They have their own niche uses, so to speak. Great bow, I would only use it when you know the enemy gets knocked back by your attack, in close range at least. Of course, for long range engagements, use it. But for short range engagements in PvP it can be gimmicky and somewhat good if the enemy doesn't know what they're doing. You can kill them with a close range great bow build fairly easily. Again, if they don't know what they're doing, if they can't dodge the attack, if they don't know how to fight you in that state. So now we're at the Mimic tier boss fight, and there's a way you can cheese this. You can cheese this by doing that. Just equip no weapon whatsoever. Go through. Whoops. And on top of that, let's have a look at this awesome upcoming fight here. There we have a Mimic tier. Wrong button again. Button do I want to click? This one. Just summon your summon and have a look at this thing. The most fun part is it's fun. When you're in New Game Plus and you already have the Mimic tier, you can let yourself fight yourself. You can let your Mimic tier fight your current build or whatever. And this is something that I really like here. I really like to just watch the AI fight. I don't know, it's not for everyone. You might find this boring, but I really enjoy this. But right now it takes too long for this video, so I'm trying to make this a little bit faster by just getting rid of myself, I guess. And I can use this now to equip some, or to re-equip my items. Oh, this one is actually better. That's nice. Put the bow in here. Same range, yeah. Okay. Of course, my summon right now deals not that much damage. But I think right now the Banished Knight would have won this fight against my unarmed self. Oh! Oh! The backstep. Excuse me, can you take the aggro again? I want to buff up. Oh, no more Estus. Oh. Wait. Was I using Flame Cleanse me again, for fuck's sake? They look so similar. Yeah, that's the one that I wanted to use. To deal just a little bit of extra damage. Thank you. You might want to let your Mimic tier fight this Mimic tier. And you get the Silver tier mask if you're using a status build. Like an arcane build, or status build, you might want to use the Silver tier mask. Because as you can see, if you have a look at the arcane stat right there, it increases the arcane stat by 8 points. But it reduces the damage by, in my case, 10 damage. Which isn't that much. It reduces your physical damage but increases your arcane by a lot, so you might want to use this with most, if not every arcane build out there. And right now we're in this weird area where it's like you have technically 3 areas in front of you. 2 fairly short ones and 1 medium large, or whatever, content-wise medium large area. I would classify them as such. And you start off in this one, the medium large one, and I don't really want to be here. I don't want to do the stuff with the followers right here. I just want to get the one item that is in Nokron itself. Over here. And I want the Mimic Tear as well. My favorite summon. My favorite summon, of course. And arguably the most powerful summon on top of that. At least at this stage of the game. Because, well, the Mimic Tear is using the stuff that you are using. And if you are using pretty strong stuff, the Mimic Tear will also use pretty strong stuff. And you can also, if you are a caster, like me right now, or a hybrid build, more like me, where it's more on the physical side and a little bit magic, like the support magic. I think, or for me, Rotten Breath, something like Rotten Breath is support magic. It's not dealing direct damage, it's dealing indirect damage, like damage over time effects or something like this. It's more like supportive magic. Of course, you could rot the enemy and then just run in circles, but hey, and one of the enemies just fell into the abyss. The one with the crossbow. Unlucky. Let me jump over there. I'm pretty sure you don't need to run for that, but I still like to run for that. Just to grab the Salvatir husk, I guess. And this area is a bit sketchy and feels a bit weird, especially this part. Like this dome structure feels weird. It's fairly easy to die there, believe it or not. Immune, can dodge roll. Alright, get rid of the Salvatir. And just follow the quote-unquote path. I'm not really fond of this level design. Don't get me wrong, I like the overall looks and feel of this area, but I'm not really impressed by the architecture, if it makes sense. Like I like the level from a level design perspective. I don't like this level from a hidden city perspective, or whatever you want to call that. I really don't like this city design, or the design of Nokron itself. Because all these buildings feel non-functional to me. Everything is built too high, there is no indoor, it doesn't show you how it looks indoor. And we've seen some buildings from the inside and they're empty. Like non-functional rooms. And this is something that I'm really missing in the whole game. Like buildings that look like real buildings. You get what I mean? The buildings that just don't look like buildings from the outside, but are completely empty, or they don't even look like real buildings from the outside. That's the problem. In some cases at least, and I kind of wish they did a little bit more with that, more interior design, because sometimes it just feels so empty, and well, not a fan of that, of course. But oh well, it is what it is, and it's still a good game, but I don't know, it could be better. It can always be better, but you know, you get what I'm saying, or you don't. But I hope you do get what I'm saying, and I hope you... That's the weird part. Should I say I hope you feel the same, or I hope you're more happier than me? That's a weird question. And probably a strange one to answer right as well, right? Because if I want you to be happy, that means I just want to make people happy. That my opinion isn't really worth anything. Like, don't care about me. I know I'm talking bullshit, but I don't think I'm talking bullshit. But when you say when I say I hope you feel the same way as me, then it kind of feels like egotistical. Like, oh, I'm not really happy with the game, and I want no one to be happy with the game either. But that's not the case. It's something in between, really. Like, I like this game as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't play it. Otherwise, I wouldn't make videos about it and stuff like this. But I see certain things that I don't like, and they could be somewhat easily be improved upon. Like interior design, of course, so would take more resources from the developer team. One of those resources is time, of course, and maybe they don't have the time for that. Maybe there are more important things. I don't know about that. I don't know how they developed this game. I can of course talk only about my perspective, because I only know my perspective. But I think that's the beautiful part, right? What is this mist, by the way? I've never seen them use this mist, really. But the good thing is that I can use up all my FP right now, because right after this encounter there is a site of grace. But now the question is, I don't really mind the maiden there. I don't like this ball. The ball is helping me. This is so weird. Do I just jump down on the ball? Come on, let's not think too hard about things. Just because these boulders can hurt you. They hurt very much. If you're not careful, they can just obliterate you. And I respect that. So I wanna avoid the direct confrontation. But then they behave like this right now, and they're just not attacking you at all, which makes me look stupid. Which is good, I guess. Or maybe not, I don't know. I don't mind looking stupid on the internet. I don't mind that at all. Oh, maybe I do, I don't know. Maybe I do mind that. So this area over here. This one is plus 3. Let's have a look. How many ghost glove ward? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 plus 5. Be right back. You know what I'm doing, aren't you? Don't you? Let me help you a little bit. Do you know what I'm doing?
Greeting, are you here for spirit?
Yes, I am here for spirit union. There we go. Oh no, I don't have the ghost glove word anyway. So underground area, this one over here, and then this one over here. Knight's sacred grounds, or ground, whatever. Ground. Singular, not plural. And here we go. And the good thing, or bad thing, in my opinion, good thing is that the Mimic tier takes part of your HP and not your FP. Alright, I wanted to say that before I'm actually doing stuff here. You can somewhat manipulate your Mimic tier, what they're supposed to use. Because they only have the weapons or they have the gear and spells that you have currently equipped, and they even have your items. Not the flask and not the physic though, but they have your... If you put a throwing dagger in your quick bar, they do have that as well. And the way you can manipulate what they're supposed to use is by, first of all, not have useless stuff equipped. Like stuff you don't want them to use, you don't equip. And if you want to tell them that they should use magic over like melee attacks or range attacks, then you put your talisman in your right hand. They will use your right hand more often than the item that is in your left hand. And the mistake that I've made is I have rejection in my quick bar, and now the Mimic tier is using rejection a lot of times. And you can see there's one silver tier left. This one is a giant. I don't want to deal with the giant, so I'm just running past it. I don't want to deal with that giant. And I don't have to. I'm just running through. And that's really something that I like about this game. Like the difficulty. I don't want to deal with that enemy. I can just avoid it. There's enough room to avoid it. I can use the Mimic tier, I can use the infinite farming area with the bird, for example, or with the like this area over here. I can abuse this area to level myself up. If I'm a brand new character, if I have a brand new character and I'm stuck at Margit, I just can't beat Margit at Stormhill Castle here. I just can't beat him. Well, then I'm doing something else. If it's too hard right now, I come back later. Or if it's too hard right now, I come back later with stuff that you would argue is cheesing. I come back with the Mimic tier, I come back with a summon, I come back with Rotten Breath. I come back with a different tactic that is very strong versus that specific enemy. And this is the good thing about Elden Ring, or the strength of Elden Ring. You can choose your own path. You don't have to go there right now if you don't want to. And in the Souls titles, for example, it's more linear. Of course, if you look at Dark Souls 1, you have a lot of choices there. But it's fairly clear once you've tried out every route, which route you're supposed to go. Right? Like, you're at Firelink Shrine now. Do I go into the aqueduct where the Undead Burg is? Do I go to the graveyard? Do I go to Blighttown with the key, with the what's it called? Master key, right? And here, if you're stuck at Margit, maybe go to the Weeping Peninsula first. Gather your strength there. Maybe you don't want to do Castle Stormvale now. Just avoid Castle Stormvale for now. Just go this route over here. And now you're in Liurnia. You can go directly to Caelid, you can go to the Weeping Peninsula, you can go to this area. Hell, even if you're in Liurnia and you don't want to do Liurnia, you can technically fight your way up these ruins, get rid of this fairly strong wyvern, or whatever that was, a worm I think, and then go to the Altus Plateau. from the Aldous Plateau, you can go into Leyndell, or you can go to the volcano. You have a lot of choices at the beginning, technically. Technically, at the beginning, you have the choice of Limgrave, and Weeping Peninsula is part of Limgrave, so I count them as one. You can go to Caelid, and you can go to Liurnia without even beating one boss. And then, of course, you have in this area, like in front of Fort Ferth, this big-ass dragon that you can easily cheese with just a random-ass bleed weapon, technically with a normal weapon as well. But you don't want to stay there a few hours until it's dead, so use a bleed weapon. And that's the strength of this game. Like, this is something very good about this game. And thanks to the open world, you don't have to go through individual dungeons to get to a different area. So you don't have to go through Castle Stormvale to go to, what's it called? To get to the academy over here. Or you don't have to finish the academy until you can visit Leyndell or the Volcano Manor. It's all open to you. Maybe there's here and there a small little choke point. Or heck, you don't even need to do this, do you? Can't you just gather? No, where do you get the first half of the medallion? Is it like Fort Height and Fort Ferreth? Grab the two halves of the medallion and then you can use the lift. Isn't this how it works? You don't even have to beat the worm, right? Wow, it's very open. Holy shit, now that I think of it, it's very open. That's amazing. But then of course you have a lot of nothingness, which is not amazing, which is the problem of an open world, right? Everything has pros and cons. And while I prefer one over the other, it doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It's just preference, really. But if the open world, if they made this open world just a little bit different, then I would love it much more. Like, for starters, again, the cities are too small. Like, Leyndell is too small, even though it's a very big area. But it's just from a world design perspective, it's just too small. From a level design perspective, it's amazing. But world design, not that much housing for all the people. Where do they get their food, by the way? How do these people eat? Where do they get the food from? Like, these few windmills? That's not enough land, not enough fields, not enough livestock. There's not enough space for all of that stuff.
Ah, it was thee.
Knock,
not
knock.
blithe it seemeth. Even
Yes.
in my slumber I sensed it. It is in thy possession, is it not? The hidden treasure of Nokron.
Yes.
My thanks. Finally all the pieces are in place. Soon must I begin my journey. Upon the dark path only I may tread.
Yeah, good luck with that.
But before I leave, I must entrust thee with this. Take it.
There we go, the carrion inverted statue.
My discarded flesh lieth beyond the seal unlocked by it.
Amazing.
Upon which is carved the curse mark of thy desire. I can fathom what thy purpose might be. Neither of us is welcomed by the brighter path, I see. You may leave now. It was but brief, but thou gavest me fine service. What is it? Thy purpose in approaching me was to obtain the curse mark, was it not? You may leave now. I too am to depart on a journey.
Okay. So I gain the item to retrieve the curse mark. It is, of course, over here. With this item I can use the bridge. And she can go on a path as well now. But now I need to think what to do next. And I think I'm starting a specific journey. I'm just starting it. I'm not doing all of that right now, but we can go to the fort right now, and I think I'm doing the fort, and then that's it for this episode. But I have just a little bit more time right now. I just have some time left. I mean, technically I could make an episode that is like 1.5 hours or 2 hours, but nah. I don't know, while I personally like a little bit longer videos, especially if it's a format like this that you can easily just turn on and listen to while you're doing other stuff. This is the content, or this is one part of the content that I really enjoy on YouTube. It's content that you can just listen to whenever. I hope I'm not too loud and not too... what's the term for that? Too energetic, so that you can't fall asleep to that. I really, or I try to make content that is really not as energetic, not as exciting, so to speak. Yeah, but well, I can't help myself if I'm at some point too energetic. And I like to talk about random ass stuff. I like to talk about the game design. And I like to talk about what could have been, what is, in my opinion, the better option. And I know sometimes it's a bit hard to point out the good things, even though there are a lot of good things, but for me it's like I take the good things for granted, and the bad things, well, if they are bad, then of course it must be an oversight, right? This is sometimes how I think, and it's probably not the best way to think about these things, but oh well. And of course, because it's an oversight, I must point it out. Right? Isn't that the point of this critique? Like, yeah, everything that I'm not critiquing is automatically good or neutral. And then, or that's, well, how do I describe it? It's easy to think that way, right? If you're critiquing something. In particular, if you're critiquing something that, like, it's weird, really, or it's not really weird, but when I have to critique a person, like the work of a person that is in front of me, right? They wrote something, or they made a presentation or whatnot, and I critique them. I try to be as nice as possible. I point out the good things that I like, and I point out the things that are not as good in my opinion, right? But when it's a game where, like, the developers are not in front of me right now, so I don't need to be nice. I just skip the I'm nice state, or the I'm nice part, and I'm just going to the negative stuff. And of course, at least in my opinion, the negative stuff is much easier and much more fun to talk about, like the stuff that they, I don't want to say they didn't do right, but the stuff that they, in my opinion, could improve upon. I hope it's clear what I wanted to say here, but this is kind of why I make these videos, because I see the potential in there, but I almost want to say it's a little bit disappointing. And it is, of course, if you see something, or if you wish for something, but it's not there, then you're disappointed. Even a little bit. Even if it's just a little bit, you're disappointed. Like, you really wish the mounted combat to be a fairly deep system that is very well implemented, and there are boss fights or enemies that are amazing to fight on horseback, and then you have the bare bones horseback fighting you have right now, where you can do swing, swing, charge, swing, and the same thing on the other side. I can't block, I can't use, like, if I want to use magic I have to swap the weapons. I don't know. And I don't know how you could make this better, specifically with the thing where you can, where you're on a horseback, right? And then, well, I have a moveset, that's good. I have combos, I have a moveset of heavy and light attack on the right side, but then the same thing on the left side. On which buttons do I put this if I could also block now? Imagine I could block, but then the shield would be on the left side. I can't block on the right side, and then it's back to I have to awkwardly ride around my enemy to attack them from the right side. Which might not feel as good, but maybe when you have a shield active, then you can decide to block with one side and or block on one side and attack on the other side, and you sacrifice that blocking action to be able to attack both sides or whatnot. I mean, there's so many options, or it feels like there are so many options. I couldn't roll there. Maybe not the best choice to fight them with a fire weapon, but oh well. I mean, it deals good enough damage. I don't mean to block there. I really just block as a preemptive measure, or like I block and try to roll, but when the roll is failing, then I still block. But I kind of feel like the block, like I block the attack earlier than it would hit me, so when I block, but I'm really trying to dodge, I'm sabotaging myself, because if my weapon is down, I have a little bit more time to dodge the attack, if it makes sense, because I hold the weapon in front of me, right? So there's... when the enemy attacks me right now, there is less space in between my weapon, or my blocking weapon right now, and the enemy's attack, than when I have the weapon down, than to my hitbox and the enemy weapon, so... I hope I hope you know what I mean by that. I think I'm sabotaging myself. It works like, if it works like that. At least it feels like it. Might not be the case, but I kind of feel it feels like that, to be honest. And this is now so weird. Do I quickly need to point out what's wrong with this fort? Do I quickly need to point it out? No door in this tower. Correlations, weird correlations. No door in this tower over here. Then why is this nest thingy or this wooden part here on the inside, not on the outside? Don't get what it's all about. Usually either this is an arrow nest or an archer nest where you can position archers, or it's one of these things where you can put in stones that you can release from the other side so that they fall onto the enemy. Doesn't work this way as well, so don't know what these are for. Okay, then back to the other thing, the text that plops up without me pressing something. It's this dude. There's a secret here. Oh, I get the secret. The fire scorpion charm. Eek the wretched fools, blah blah blah. He's hiding out here. And by the way, I don't get what this wooden platform is doing here. Like, makes no sense. How do you get here? By the way, there's no entrance, so you have to climb over these crenellations. What is this wooden platform designed for? If you have this here and the enemy stands below the wooden platform, you can no longer attack the enemy. Like, they're safe from your attacks. And if you want to station your troops up here, then your troops aren't protected by anything. So it makes no sense, this one platform outside of your castle. But oh well, I've said this many times, and I've just repeated myself again. And I will do it again when the next fort or fortified structure appears again, or whatever. It's late, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know how to English, I've already said that before. But I still don't know how to English right now. And I know I still don't know how to speak English, but you know what I mean. But that's it. Enough trash talk from me right now, enough weird ass... I don't know. I can just call it trash talk right now. Next time, what will we do next time? Probably all the stuff that is behind this fort. I don't think I want to go up the other side right now. Maybe I will leave that for later. But we can now technically visit the upper area over here, like of this area. We could do that. I could... Where am I? I could also go into Leyndell. And I think I kind of want to do that. There's right now, I think, no reason for me that prevents me from going into Leyndell, so I might just do that next time. Yeah, I think I will start this. I will first finish this area up here, up to this point, and then we will start with Leyndell, or proceed with Leyndell. So, I hope you like this episode, and that's it from me right now. Goodbye.